to Game Smarter.
Hello, and welcome to the show. My name is Kyron Mountain, and here on Game Smarter, we want to keep you educated and informed when it comes to Nintendo and all things gaming. So, this episode, of course, is brought to you by Humble Bundle. There's some very cool things going down over at Humble Bundle right now. The DIY electronics. And check out Bob. There's a Bob Ross bundle right now. You might want to go check it out. Hopping into the news today. This is going to be interesting. I'm going to try and get this video up before the Nintendo Nindies Direct that's happening later today. I'd love to know in the comments down below what you'd love to see. I'm right like this article says, I'm hoping we'll get Shovel Knight information today. King of Cards, a release date. We have a bit more information right now about Travis Strikes Again, aka No More Heroes, that apparently we're getting it in 2018, which is awesome. But I'm hoping we're going to get a No More Heroes announcement for the Switch, where they're bringing the first two back. TinyBuild is also doing a little Hello Switch event of their own about 9:30 this morning, which is in about an hour almost. Basically, they're trying to go live right after the Nindy Spotlight. I don't know if they're going to end up upsetting Nintendo or if they asked Nintendo that it was only a half hour. Basically, we're going to be jumping right from one into the other. One of the games that will not be featured in this week's Nindy Direct will be Hollow Knight. This is a game that's been it's been on my radar for a bit. I picked it up on Steam. Long story short, haven't been able to get my controller working properly to do a video for you guys. But apparently later this week, we should be getting more Hollow Knight news, aka a release date sometime this week. Speaking of Hollow Knight, it's on sale right now over on Humble Bundle. Follow my link down in the description below, and not only will you be getting a discount on the game, but you'll also be helping me out by using my link. So thank you for that. Nintendo, if you live in Calgary, Alberta, here in Canada, sorry some of this news is kind of towards them. Basically, it looks like you have until March 31st, the end of the month, to apply for a job out at Cross Iron Mills. I believe it doesn't say Cross Iron here, but I know that's where the only kiosk is in Calgary. So they're looking for 2 contract part-time job positions. There's all the list of things. Basically, you have to be knowledgeable about Nintendo products or willing to learn. You have to be a go-getter, and you have to be able to work retail, be okay with cash. And there's a couple of lines in here that make me think that you're going to be doing some additional things outside of the kiosk work too. Heck, if I lived in Calgary, I would be all over this. Their really, really big requirement is looking for 2 years of experience working retail and has spent a few years playing video games beyond casual. And I think if you're watching this video, that probably is you. And computer knowledge, who doesn't have that these days? If you want to apply, there'll be a link to the description down below. Yeah. I guess Funimation wants Goku to be in the next Smash Brothers. I don't know if this is how you go about requesting such a thing, or maybe Nintendo's not listening to them. I don't know, but you know what? Out of all the crazy characters, and I'm starting to get swept up in this Smash hype that's going on. I want to see Goku. I think Goku would fit in there. Why not? Just limit him to not be able to fly, or maybe only fly when he has his the Smash Ball gets broken open. I don't know. There's a lot of really cool details, and I didn't talk about this at all last week. Sonic Mania Plus is happening. It's a thing, and it kind of feels like an expansion onto the original. But if you think about it, the original Sonic Mania never got a physical release, so they're packaging the original Sonic Mania in with Sonic Mania Plus, doing a physical release. The really cool thing, though, this is the really cool thing, 2 characters that everyone was like, they've gone missing. They did such a great fan option, but they didn't include, I think it's, what's his name? The Flying Squirrel. Mighty the Armadillo and Ray the Flying Squirrel. So there's Mighty the Armadillo. I remember when I first met him, was introduced to him, was in the Knuckles Chaotix comics, because Knuckles kind of creates his own team, I guess. And he's almost the team leader when Knuckles isn't around. And then Ray the Flying Squirrel, I guess both of these guys were introduced in an older Sonic game. I forget what it was called. I want to say Sonic Adventures. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, these guys are going to be playable. So not only are we going to have Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, we're going to have these 2 guys. So I don't know if there's going to be like a Mighty Armadillo and Knuckles mode. That could be fun. On the same news, it looks like, as expected, if you already own Sonic Mania, like many of us do, expect this Encore or this Plus to just be a paid DLC, which I think I'm totally cool with. I actually half expected them to just give it to us, but maybe, if I remember correctly now, Sonic Mania was a lower price than most, first party, second party, like big title releases. So I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that, especially because we're getting more. There's lots more features too. There's not a lot of news and information about exactly what we're getting besides, I think, 2 new modes. But when we get more details, we'll definitely have that here on the show. Rumor, I mentioned this last week, that Nintendo could potentially be refreshing the console, the Switch. And it sounds like we're going to be getting 8 gigs of RAM instead of 4. Now, I've never really felt like the Switch is sluggish, so I don't know if this gigabyte bump would be even worth it. Because I guess this is my question, and tell me if I'm wrong down in the comments, but RAM isn't going to help it load faster, right? So, a faster SD card or installing the game on the hardware itself would speed up load times. The RAM would just help with playing the game, like with frame rate issues, maybe, like Rocket League's, okay, that would help. But then again, that's the graphics card. Maybe this new chip that the rumor has that's coming out will also help with that. Again, my thing is the really big information here, 8 gigs of RAM instead of 4 gigs of RAM. I've always been a huge believer in doubling your RAM. And last on this list, I wanted to mention Kickstarter. There is the Retro Stone Ultimate Retro Gaming Console. I backed this. I think this is one of the coolest things. I'm a huge original Game Boy fan. Basically, this is, if you've been following the whole Retro Pie world, this fits right in there. It's not actually a pie that's going to be in it, and it sounds like you're going to be able to play almost anything on it. Definitely check out a link. I might be making a video about this guy in the future here. Basically, the thing you want to know is it's got HDMI out. That's the reason I'm so excited. USB ports, Ethernet, an on-off switch, which that's pretty standard. Headphone jack and sound wheel. So, and then of course they've got the 4 buttons on the back, which are your shoulder buttons. That's a design that he may be going with. He has told other people. The picture you saw earlier was the update where he's got a different prototype going, and he's letting the backers decide what the back should look like. The reason why this is so exciting is HDMI out, which means that if I can get my hands on a ROM of some games that I already own, then I can actually make videos on some old retro games that don't have HDMI out and then I can't properly capture for you. But the thing I think is the most exciting is that it also has Linux running on it. So if you needed a computer, it'll also run it, and it runs Kodi, so it means you can use it as a media center. Wrap it up on the show today. I wanted to show one more Humble Bundle game. This is already on the Switch. My wife is playing it on her Switch. She's enjoying it. She's saying she's enjoying it. I think she's had one of the slower parts in it, but the story is deep, she says. It's 30% off right now if you go to Humble Bundle. If you want to save some cash, doesn't mean you have to have it on the Switch. I'll include a link down and below so that you can hit that up, and some of that cash that you buy the game with goes to us. So I will leave a link in the description down below. I got to try and get this video out in the next 40 minutes so that you can watch it before the Nindies Direct. And if not, if you're watching this post haste, let me know what you think. And was the Nindies a lot of fun for you? Until then, guys, go play something!